2007 through 2014 Chevy Silverado thermostat and heater hose replacement. I'm Brian Esser from How to Automotive, and I'm going to walk you step by step through the process of replacing that. The first thing you're going to want to do is get yourself a bucket to put under the vehicle to catch the coolant as it drains out. Next, we're going to remove the top engine cover by lifting up and pulling out towards you. Okay, next step is going to remove the air intake boot here. So I'm going to loosen the clamp here. Loosen the clamp here. Underneath here is this little hose. You can put a flat blade screwdriver here and pry this down and pry this out of the cleaner. Then right here we're going to grab this little vent line and give it a pull and pop it out like that. And then it has these rubber grommets here. You'll lift up and just pull the whole air cleaner assembly off. Okay, so now we're going to get started by removing the thermostat. And the thermostat's down here. So we're going to remove the 10mm bolt here and the one just underneath right there. Remove that, and then we'll pull the thermostat housing off. I'm going to use my Milwaukee M12 cordless 3/8 drive ratchet here. This is one of those tools that I use on a daily basis. It saved me so much time and energy. If you guys haven't seen these, I recommend you check them out. I'll leave a link for it in the description of the video. Once you remove the bolts, you can go ahead and just pop the thermostat housing off. And come on, go down. You definitely want to have to make sure that bucket's ready to catch all this coolant that's draining out. So now we're ready to reinstall our thermostat. You want to make sure you install it with the little bleeder screw here upwards. And then you can put it, it's going to go in the housing this way. But what you're going to do is you're actually going to fit it with the rubber grommet and the seal. It's going to fit in the hose like this. So you make sure that that bleeder screw is pointing up, and then you go ahead and line it in and go ahead and start your bolts and tighten it down. Now that the thermostat's done, we're going to replace the heater hoses here, and I'll link up the heater hoses and the thermostat in the description of the video. That way, if you guys need to pick these up, you can find it there. And one of the things I want to talk to you about is the special tool required to remove the quick disconnects on the heater hoses. So this tool, what you're going to do is it's going to feed into the end of the hose. So this, I'll demonstrate on the new one here. You push it into the hose from the back, and you pull it into the fitting, and you squeeze it. And what that does is once the tool goes in there, it flares these little tabs open and it allows the quick connect to come off. I'm going to remove the inner hose first. So you're going to take the 3/4 inch fitting here. So you're going to open it up and put it in behind the fitting and pull it in towards the hose. And one of the best ways to get it off is to push the hose inwards towards the heater core, and then pull the tool into it, and then pull the hose off. So once you get that hose off, then you're just going to flip it over into the other hose here and do the exact same thing. So now I just took a standard pair of pliers like so, squeeze the hose clamps here, and slid it back, squeeze the clamp, slid it back, and then also right here on the bottom of the coolant reservoir bottom, the bigger hose here, squeeze the clamp, slide it back. Now, what I like to do is either take a razor blade and cut the hoses and then slide the hoses off, because they can mend. So you can make incisions on the hose and then take the hose off, make an incision, take the hose off. So I'm going to do this one first, and this is the straight one without the T, and it has the black one, and that one went to the far left. So I'm going to replace this one first. So I'll cut it off, pop it out of the little catch here, and then I'll in reverse. I'll install the one with the black fitting on first. Click it on. Pop it back through the route, slide it back onto the port, and then I'm going to replace the clamp with a new hose clamp. So I'm going to take my replacement hose here, which is a factory genuine GM hose. I'll link this up in the description. And now that I got the inner one off, and so I'm going to go ahead and install that one first. So before I install it, I'm going to take a rag and wipe the fittings down. So I'll wipe them clean, make sure there's no debris on the fittings. After that, I'll take the quick connect and I'll install that one on first. I'll install the black one first, and it just goes on, and you push until you hear it click, and then you give it a pull to make sure it doesn't pop back off. So after lining it up, I push it on, and now I'm going to give it a good pull to make sure it doesn't pop back off. Now go ahead and put it back into the little crimp or route. So I'm going to change the clamps. If yours are in bad shape, I recommend you do that. If not, you can reuse them. And then we just put them onto the port, push it all the way on, and then I'm going to put it in like go and tighten it. Okay, now that we got the inner one installed, we're going to do the exact same thing. Pop it off here, pop it off here, and then we'll reroute. Now I'm just going to feed the hose kind of down in there, the area. And I'm going to start the top one. I'm just going to push it on and make sure it locks. Okay, after pushing it on, giving it a good tug, make sure it doesn't pop back off. Remount it in the thing. Now what I'm going to do is put on my new hose clamp and install the hose. So slide it on. Hose here. Go ahead and install the clamp and install it, and go ahead and tighten it up. You can go ahead and install your air clamp here, so it's gonna go down in here, and it's gonna fit over these little grommets right here. So once you get it lined up, line it up here, push it on, pop it on here, and then put on your air snorkel here, and then pop on the vent hose. You just push it on. Route it in there, popped in over the groove, mount it on, clamp tight, and then the hose over here, and make sure it goes back into the little connector here, and then the vent line here. The vent line, you're just gonna line it up and push. And now we're gonna put the top. When you're gonna put this top engine cover on, this portion of it has to tuck underneath the hoses, so this will go under the hoses. So, and then the back here, right here, is just gonna hook on the little hooks in the very back, and then you just push them down over these little grommets. This is gonna look like that. Now we're gonna fill it up with 50-50 mix of Dex Cool coolant. So after filling it up to the full mark on the bottle here with 50-50 mix Dex Cool, I'm gonna let the vehicle run for about 10 to 15 minutes and wait for the thermostat to open up and also the cooling fans to cycle. On this vehicle, the cooling fans are electric, so I'll watch for the fan operation to come on. One of the ways I can tell when the thermostat opens up is by using this infrared temperature gun. So I'll take a temperature reading while it's cold right here on the lower hose where the thermostat is, and then as the thermostat opens up, that temperature on that lower hose will increase probably 40 to 50 degrees in temperature, and you'll know that the thermostat has opened up. And you'll feel the coolant flowing through the upper hose. I'll also recheck the bottle because the level will most likely drop when the thermostat opens up. You also do not want to overfill the coolant bottle. It's a expansion tank. So there's a full mark, and you fill it up to that full mark and make sure it doesn't go over that. And if it does, remove a little bit of coolant. You'll also want to put your heater on high and turn the heater on and check the vent that warm air is blowing through the vents, and that's another indication that all the air is bled out of the system and the thermostat has opened up. So I will link up all the parts and tools that I used. That way if you need to pick up any of those, you can find them there in the description. And that'll complete the job of replacing the thermostat and the heater hoses on a 2007 through 2014 Chevy Silverado. I'm Brian Esser from How To Automotive. I'd like to thank you guys for watching my videos, encourage you to subscribe, invite you to head over to the howtoautomotive.com website for more valuable videos like this, and I'd like to thank you again for watching.